Hello viewers. Today we are going to discuss characteristic load and characteristic strength pertaining to limit state design of reinforced concrete structures. To understand these terms, there are certain prerequisite concepts and those concepts are listed here. Those concepts are addition of probabilities of mutually exclusive events and multiplication of probabilities. So with these prerequisites in place, let us proceed further and let us define characteristic load and characteristic strength. So characteristic strength will be defined as per Indian Standard Code IS 456-2000. We know that any material inherently has variable properties. For example, if I test a steel rod of same diameter, if I test multiple samples of it under uniaxial tension, I am going to get different stress strain curves. Similarly, if I test 100 cubes made out of the same concrete mix under uniaxial compression, I am going to get different compressive strengths. And therefore, we need to come up with a single number that characterizes a particular property of that lot or of that lot of material. By definition, characteristic strength is the strength below which not more than 5% of the test results are expected to fall. In line with this strength, even the loads that the structures are subjected to are probabilistic in nature. They have their variable values, directions, so on and so forth. So therefore, we need to define something called as characteristic load. It is that load which has 95% probability of not being exceeded during the design life of the structure. Now the last phrase, during design life of the structure, is important because few structures would be designed for 50 years. Few structures will be designed for 100 years. Few structures will be designed for for a design life of more than 100 years. So we have to consider probability of exceedance of a load during the design life of the structure. Therefore, characteristic load is that load which has 95% probability of not being exceeded during the design life of the structure. Now let us consider M20 grade concrete. So what does M20 mean? M stands for concrete mix and 20 stands for characteristic strength in MPa. So it means if I have a concrete mix designated as M20, if I cast 100 cubes using this mixed material, then at least 95% cubes will have strength equal to or more than 20 MPa. So that's what I mean by characteristic strength of M20 mix, concrete mix. On similar lines, let us now understand characteristic wind speed of 39 meter per second. So what does it mean? So if at a particular elevation from the ground, at a particular place, the characteristic wind speed is specified as 39 meter per second, it means that it has probability of non-exceedance having value 0.95. So once we have understood what is characteristic strength and what is characteristic load, it is very interesting to ask this question to ourselves. What would be the probability of failure of a structure designed for characteristic load considering characteristic strength? Let us try and answer this question. So I will define certain events. Let us say event A is the event in which strength of the material is less than characteristic strength. This event has a probability of occurrence of 0.05. by the definition of characteristic strength 5%. Event B is the event in which the load on the structure happens to be greater than characteristic load. This can happen only in 5% cases as per the definition of characteristic load, and therefore probability of event B is also 0.05, that is 5%. Consider event C where strength of a material is greater than equal to the characteristic strength. So probability of event C is 0.95 because in 95% cases, the test results would exhibit strength greater than characteristic strength. And event D is load on the structure has a value less than or equal to characteristic load. So in 95% times, the load will be less than the characteristic load during the design lifespan of the structure. So probability associated with event D is 0.95. Now let us try and define what is failure. So failure is A and D or B and C or A and B. That means strength will be less than characteristic strength and load will be less than characteristic load. So that failure is failure due to understrength, or load is greater than characteristic load and strength is greater than characteristic strength. So this is the failure due to overload, or strength is less than characteristic strength and load has exceeded characteristic load. So this is the failure due to both, that is understrength and overload. So therefore failure can occur in three ways: one due to understrength, that is A and D, or due to overload, that is B and C, or due to both understrength and overload, that is A and B. Now we already know what are the probabilities of events A, B, C and D. Wherever there is AND operator for mutually exclusive events, we will multiply the probabilities, and wherever there is OR operator, we will add the probabilities. Now mind you, A and D is A and D, B and C, A and B. These three events are mutually exclusive. When A and D occurs, B and C or A and B cannot occur. So therefore, all these three events are mutually exclusive. So acknowledging the fact that these events are mutually exclusive and applying the logic of multiplication and addition of probabilities, I can say probability of failure is 0.05 into 0.95. This corresponds to event A and D, plus 0.95 into 0.05. This corresponds to the probability of occurrence of B and C, plus 0.05 into 0.05. This corresponds to probability of occurrence of A and B. If we work out this probability of failure, it turns out to be 1 in 10 approximately. So what it means is, if I design a structure for characteristic load considering characteristic strength, still the probability of failure is 1 in 10. 1 in 10 is very high number. That means 1 of every 10 attempts is going to be a failure, and therefore we cannot allow such a high probability of failure while designing any civil engineering structure. So what should we do? Therefore we introduce something called as partial safety factors for strength and loads. In the next short video, we will describe and understand these partial safety factors for strength and load in detail. So for time being, let us summarize. Characteristic strength is that strength below which not more than 5% of the test results are expected to fall. Characteristic load is that load which will not be exceeded 95% times during the design life of the structure. And we also understand that if we design the structure for characteristic load considering characteristic strength, the probability of failure is very high, that is 1 in 10, and therefore we need to introduce something called as partial safety factors for load and strength. So with this summary, let us stop here today. Thank you.